So, you want to learn how to fix your Ranger hero. Well, as usual, I'm going to take this build, I'm going to go to the Isle of the Nameless, and we're going to show you why this doesn't work, and what we can do to improve it. Again, I'm just going to let loose on the Master of Damage and see what Pyre actually does. So we're going to let his preparation run out, and target it. So, he's going to prep first, that's good, clever Ranger, and use his one attack skill, and just auto-attack, because he doesn't have any other attack skills. But what happens if his preparation runs out? Will he reactivate it? Will he use a different one? Because he can only have one active at once, it's kind of irrelevant using all three. So that's a waste of a bar. We now see that his preparations run out, and he's using a completely different one, which is pretty much pointless. At the moment we haven't seen him run up and use Throw Dirt, but in combat he will, guaranteed, run up and use Throw Dirt, run into melee range, and endanger himself unnecessarily. Right, so we best fix this. So what can we make of our Ranger? Ideally, in my builds, personally, I don't use Rangers very often, so I'm not entirely sure. But first of all, we need to get rid of all these preparations, because most of them are rubbish. Let's get rid of all these. That. Throw Dirt is no good, because I've explained. Troll Engine is not brilliant. You don't want your Ranger to be trying to heal himself. But for this case, I'm going to leave it there. We're also /Elementalist, which means that we can do things like add conjures to our skills. So we're going to lower Wilderness Survival a little bit, and bring up Fire Magic to, I don't know, 9 would be a good idea. We're going to also increase Expertise to 9, just not the best spread, but I'm working with what I've got here. What I've done that for is Conjure Flame. Now while at the moment he doesn't have a fire bow, and while fire damage isn't exactly brilliant in hard mode, I'm going to add Kindle Arrows, which makes his bow do fire damage, which will increase damage across the board. Now heroes are smart enough to do that, so we're going to leave that there. I'm also going to add in, if I can find Expertise, Distracting Shot, because heroes can interrupt fairly well, and Lightning Reflexes as a defensive stance. Now what elite could we use? Quite honestly, there are numerous elites that are good with this type of build, with any type of build. Major Bane Shot, as I've stated, heroes are quite clever at interrupting. They don't really know what to interrupt, but they can interrupt. So that's one option. Poison Arrow is another good option. Incendiary Arrows is another good option. But for this particular one, seeing as we're using Conjure Flame, I'm going to add in Prepared Shot. And also some kind of attack skill to do some more damage. Oh man, let's see. Something with a fair energy cost. Let's try Sloth Hunter's Shot. So let's see how Pyre uses this build. For this particular demonstration, I'm going to be having Pyre attack the Master of Healing. So I will lock that target, and Pyre should start out with Prepared Shot for some reason, but he adds Kindle Arrows and starts attacking. Now he recognises that he's now doing fire damage, so he uses Conjure Flame quite well, and Prepared Shot is decent energy management. Now let's see if he manages to interrupt anything. Hopefully the Master of Healing should try and do some healing soon. We see he was a little slow on the Distracting Shot, but we also see that he tried to interrupt at the correct time. We also know that he used Lightning Reflexes as an increased attack speed, which is fairly clever because he wasn't under attack, there was no threat, so he was able to use that properly. However, because this target is moving, he isn't getting much damage done, which is fair enough. But we now clearly see that his build works and that his energy is reasonably intact. It would be more intact, but he's missed his Prepared Shot far too often. So, that's one build for your Ranger. There's a lot more that you can do, and I would like to make that known, that the options are endless and that you should try out things on your own. Go ahead and click the profession you want to be taken to that video.